Well, hello there, tankers of the Blitz universe. I'm Flossie, and today I will be reviewing the Batchat. Now, unlike Fatness, I will not be doing 7,000 damage consecutively in this tank, because I'm just not that good, but I figured I should do a review on this tank because it is definitely one of the strongest clipping tanks at tier 10 right now, especially with all of the good things going for it, which I will go over a little bit later. But first, let's break into the tank's stats, starting off with the gun. Now, I also won't be using the 4-shell gun. I'll be using the top gun. So, yeah, anyways, the damage of the top gun is 350 on its standard shells, and it does have a triple shell gun. And yeah, so times that by 3 and you get about 1,050 damage in its clip, which is very nice. As for the heat, it deals 300 damage, and the high explosive has 400 alpha. So not too bad. As for the penetration, it's 247 on the standard, 321 on the premium, and 58 on the HE. Now, I am using calibrated shells because using vents on a tank like this, I find is just completely pointless. You always want to have the most pen you can on a tank that's an autoloader, because you want to be penning all 3 of your shells if you can. As for the tank's accuracy, it has an aim time of 2.8 seconds with a dispersion of 0.297. So I am using refined gun, so that brings my dispersion down a little bit. But overall, like, the gun is pretty accurate. You do get the occasional troll bounce because your clip reload, especially while using the consumable, the whatever it's called, what is it? The shell reload boost. If you use that, then your clipping potential is going to be faster than your aim time. So it can cause a little bit of trouble there when it comes to penning your shells all the time. Sometimes they'll troll you and miss your opponents, sorry. In terms of the gun depression, it has 6 degrees of gun depression, and the damage per minute is sitting at 2862. So very nice damage per minute for a autoloader. And yeah, anyways, talking about the mobility, this tank goes 65 forward and 23 in reverse. So that's fantastic reverse speed, and overall the mobility of this tank is amazing. You are going to, obviously because it's a light tank, you're going to be able to flank around the map, no problem at all. And, of course, the mechanic that all light tanks have is your concealment does not decrease while moving. Anyways, enough of that. Now, one thing that I do think you should run on the Batchat is Spall Liner. I see some Batchat players just not running this for whatever reason, and it basically means that 20% of the damage from HE shells that you get hit by will be reduced. So basically it just means you won't be getting shot at for as much damage with HE shells. So just do add that into your provisions list by all means, because it's super important. And the shell reload boost is another thing that I recommend you use because it'll decrease your intra-clip time. Now, I see people running this and then they pop it like after they're done shooting their clip. They think it's like adrenaline to reload your clip or whatever, but it's not like that. It's just for your intra-clip, and that's it. Anyways, talking about the tank's armor, this thing has no armor, but it does have a bit of a troll upper plate that sometimes will get bounces. I figured the armor profile on this thing was not special enough to actually get its own section there, because, like, literally you're going to be getting spammed with HE when you play this thing. So basically at all costs, you want to avoid getting shot in this tank, because the majority of people will just load HE when they see you. And even when you're using Spall Liner, it'll still do a crap ton of damage. So anyways, let's see what we can do in these 3 live games. And first off, we are on Winter Malinovka. So not a bad map for a tank like this. And I will be going medium side almost immediately because I do want to get the initial spots onto tanks like that WZ-121. And hopefully we will be able to do that without getting shot in return. Another thing about the Batchat is it has the most view range out of any tier 10 in the entire game, which is fantastic. Means that you can basically outspot anyone you feel like outspotting, which is amazing. Combine all of these things together and you get a extremely strong clipper. A lot of people say that this is the best light tank in the game. I still think it's the Sheridan because it's easier to play. But this thing is extremely deadly when you play it correctly. So, we see the 121 has, in fact, been spotted in front of us, and holy crap, he just got 183 for 8,000 damage. We do see their team is going heavy side, and I am able to connect a shell into that 183 when he does cross, so that's very good for us. I am going to reload the clip as well. Even if you only shoot once, I still recommend you reload the clip if you aren't going to be using the rest of the shells anytime soon, because it's always beneficial to have all 3 shells loaded. And I just realized I'm an idiot, and my camera was blocking the minimap the whole time. Okay, well, good thing I moved that before the game was over. Anyways, we're going to be spotting out their TD bush here, and you can see the E4 is sitting in the TD bush. We're able to dump 3 shells into him, dealing a decent amount of damage even before he's able to turn his turret and hit us, which is very nice. That shell intra-clip boost is amazing in this tank, and I can't believe Wargaming gave this thing that reload boost, or the intra-clip boost, because it's so strong. Anyways, we are making our way behind their team again, so we'll see the 60 TP on our side here, and I'm going to try and get a couple of shells into him. Unfortunately, the first one does, in fact, bounce, but we'll try and get the last 2 in. We only managed to pen 1, but that's okay. I will reposition my tank and see if I can get any more damage out into these guys from the rear. So yeah, the thing you want to know about the Batchat is always reposition yourself. You never want to be sitting in the same spot for too long, because people will be able to nuke you so very easily. So it's very important that you use the mobility this tank has to get yourself around the map here. And unfortunately, the 60's armor is being a very troll right now, but we do get 2 shells into him, and we do clear the E4, or sorry, we do get 1 shell into him, and we kill the E4, which is very nice. And now I'm going to be making my way very aggressive towards this 1-2-1, because I just want to get him out of the game. It's very important to kill off their mobility first, and then deal with the heavies once you have done so, because once the enemy team doesn't have mobility, your tank becomes 10,000 times stronger. Unfortunately for me, both of my shells troll me and miss that Contra Caro. So yeah, kind of a waste of that shell reload, I will say. But it is what it is. And now what I'm going to do is I will make my way towards this 183 here, because I do need to get him out of the game next. However, it doesn't look like we're going to be winning this game anytime soon, because, of course, our team kind of sucked. Now, good thing for us that 183 does, in fact, miss, and we do actually kill him. So now I'm going to reload my clip once again, and yeah, we'll see what we can do. This E5 is probably going to be able to shoot me. Yeah, there we go. Alright, well, I mean, what else am I going to do this game other than, like, push and try and get a clip into this E5 here? He does, in fact, miss, and I'm going to try to HE him in the rear, but we'll see if I can actually get all 3 HE shells into him before I do die. Rip. Well, we only get 2. We deal 4,000 damage, though, and although our team wasn't the best, still a solid result for the first game. And you can see there, just by flanking around the map, getting my clips out, you're able to do so much damage in this thing in such a short amount of time. And yeah, so I will say that was a pretty good game, even if we did lose it. Anyways, let's jump into game number 2. So yeah, you can see there, the mobility of this tank is fantastic. We were able to easily flank their enemy team, and when they weren't paying attention to us is when I decided to poke and clip them. You never want to be trading with your enemy opponents if you can help it, because trading in this tank never goes well for you, since it does take a decent amount of time, even with the shell reload boost, to dump all 3 of your shells out. You want to wait for the enemy opponents to usually shoot first, and then you can poke out and clip them. But yeah, we'll see what happens in game number 2. And for game number 2, we're on Rockfield, and I'm going to spot up mid early on here, because I want to get an idea of where their team is going to be. So we will, in fact, go to this bush right here in mid and see where their team is headed. And we do see the Sheridan. We both miss our shells. I am going to reload my clip because there's no point in just holding 2 shells. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. The Sheridan is probably going to keep sitting there for a while, so I do have to be careful of that. And I also don't know where their TDs are yet. There's only so much I can do. There we go. There's the E100. So the E100, I probably cannot pen him anywhere on the turret, especially at that sort of angle. Since his tank is angled upwards, it makes it a lot harder for me to pen because of how the angling works in this game. But I will go towards this bush, and I will spot that waffle in the back there. And let's see if... oh, we do get spotted back. Okay, so in that case, I am going to try and get a shell into this E100. He does fail his HE on me, which is very good for us. And he is getting shot at by this T-22 and, in fact, our BZ over here. So, actually, he's getting shot at by a lot of people right now. So this is good for us. We are going to try and avoid getting HE'd again. There we go. The E100 does fail his shell on me once again, and we are able to pick him up for that. And now that I am spotted, I'm not going to poke this bush again because that waffle is probably still sitting there. I'm just going to reload my clip and I will reposition my tank somewhere else because, again, repositioning yourself in this tank to new positions where the enemy isn't used to you like being there is super important. So we're going to flank around behind where this waffle is. And actually, wait a minute. Can I shoot that CC Mark 1? Or again, Mark 2, sorry. See if I can get a couple shells into him. There we go. We do get 2 into him. And I am going to, in fact, reload my clip once again. I do see the Object 84 is trying to flank their rear. And I don't know if he's going to get nuked by that waffle. But I might as well go and help him deal with that guy. So far this game is not looking all that great for us. But we are still, we're still in the game. It's not completely over yet. Hopefully we can get a quick clip into this, either the CC or the waffle here. Let's try and get a shell into the CC there and get a nice high roll into him, killing him, in fact, and that's very good for us. It is now a 3 versus 3. However, our T-22 is in a very bad spot right now, and their E5 is more healthy than I can actually clip him. So I'm gonna have to try and at least get a shell into him before he's a 1 clip for me. So I'm gonna try and move my way around to his side and see if the Sheridan or the E5 are going to let me shoot them at least once here. Let's get a shell towards the Sheridan. Unfortunately, that does bounce the Sheridan's rear, which is very, very annoying. And it means that he's still a 2-shot to us. So let's see if I can get a shell into the 60 there. And unfortunately for us, our T-22 is now going to die. And all that's left is me against a full health 60, basically. A 400 health E5. And their Sheridan, who's probably going to keep YOLOing around for me and trying to get me spotted. But we'll see what I can do. I'm going to go super wide into their spawn, and that is because I just don't want to be... Ooh, boy. Can I get unspotted there before the Sheridan sees me? Yes, I can. And that's huge, actually, because that means that I can, in fact, sit in this bush. We'll see what the 60 does. He's going to sit there right now, and he's probably going to spot me, actually. So I will pull away from the bush. I will reload my clip once again, and we'll see what we can do. Now, I'm kind of hoping that the 60 doesn't spot me when I'm going up here. He doesn't, in fact. The E5 also probably doesn't see me right now, which is excellent for us. The 60 is now going to be pushing up, so I'm going to make another play going wide once again because... Oh, that Sheridan might have spotted me. No, he didn't. Okay, excellent. So I will make my way towards my spawn now, and I'm trying to see if I can get shells into this Sheridan while he's pushing me, but it's not looking like he is. So, in that case, I'm just going to keep running away. What I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to isolate one of their tanks, because if I can kill, like, let's say that E5, without any of the other players being around him, it makes it so much easier for me to deal with them, like, one by one, trying to bring down their HP as much as I can before I can go in for the kills. So we'll see if I can get this E5 here. I don't know if he's still on heavy side here, but we will try and pick him off. I'm not sure where he's going to be, but I'm just going to keep doing ring around the rosy until I do spot someone here. So I'm going to go wide again. Not going to cut through mid. Oh, the E5 definitely spotted me there. Unfortunate for us. So let's see if I can, in fact, get a shell or two into him. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, we get one into him, and we might be able to kill him. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That's not very good. Let's see if I can get a kill shot into the E5. No. Oh, we do kill him, but it doesn't really matter. The Sheridan is probably going to kill me, and that's a bit unfortunate. So, oh well. Another loss. Apparently my teams are just not very good today, but it is what it is. We still did 3,800 damage. Tried my best, but it didn't work. We did 3,900 actually, so not a terrible result, but 2 losses in a row. Let's see if I can at least win a battle. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, I mean, we tried using our mobility to the best we could of our abilities, sorry, but our team just kind of fell apart there. And although this tank is extremely good, it can't, like, carry, like, a 1 versus 5, basically. You have to have other mediums to actually help you, because when you're on a clip reload, it's important that you have backup and, yeah, and team support, so then they can shoot when you're on a clip reload. But anyways, we are on Ghost Factory for our third and final game, and we'll see if we can actually pull out a win for this last battle here. Up against us, we do have a Sheridan, who's going to be the most annoying opponent out of the bunch to deal with, because, yeah, other light tanks are what your main threat is, and it's very important to clear them as fast as you can, so then they don't end up destroying your chances of winning like that Sheridan did last game. We see the M60 is pushing up very aggressive, and so is their Sheridan. He is sitting in that spot there. They're able to get 2 shells into him, and we do get a bounce, a lucky bounce from that M60, and I'm going to reload my clip again. And seeing as our team is in base B, I will, in fact, yes, I will be running away. Like that 62A said, I will not be staying in this position, because since their entire team is over here, I do not want to be the one getting crapped on. You can see there, good thing I dipped, because I would have been toast if I had stayed there any longer. So, we're going to reposition our tank. Again, repositioning. It's so important in this vehicle. And you can see, again, their whole team is over there. So, what I'm going to try and do is see if I can, in fact, get some shells into, like, I don't know where their 183 is yet. So, I'm going to try and flank around their rear and see if I can get to where that 183 is. Because if I can, that's pretty big if I can clear him. But we'll see what we can do. I'm going to be making my way, like, really far wide, trying to get into their spawn. We'll see where the 183 does get spotted. I still haven't seen him yet, so I'm hoping that he is turning, not facing me. I'm hoping he's not facing me, basically. Because if I can get behind him, it's kind of over for him. So we'll see what we can do. Our team is not doing well. Oh, the 183's the 183's in the front line. Interesting. Okay, well, in that case, it looks like their VK is turning around for me, which is a mistake from him because he's just basically giving my team the side of his tank now. So we'll get a shell into this 704, and we'll see if we can get another one in. No, unfortunate. Let's see if I can get a shell into the VK there. Nice. Nice accuracy on this tank is giving us some juicy shells. However, again, our team is just not doing their job. All they need to do is hold while I flank around, basically. So with them not doing their job, there's only so much I can really do here. So I will try and get one shell into him. He does unfortunately hit me back, but I should be able to get my whole clip out before that VK rolls around my side. So now that I've gotten my clip out, I'm going to run away once again because I want to reposition. And I'm going to try and kill that Sheridan next because he is on 100 health. And it's my best bet of, again, getting their mobility out of the game is so important. So let's see if I can kill this Sheridan. I don't know if he's going to be YOLOing outside of the building here, but if he does, there we go. We pick up a nice kill onto the Sheridan there. And I'm going to reload my clip again. But again, it doesn't matter what I do, apparently. Apparently my teams are really shite today. So, oh well, 3 losses in a row. It is what it is. At least we're doing good damage these games. And even with the losses, I think it still showcases why this tank is so very strong. Definitely, if you are looking to pick up a strong clipper and you at least somewhat know how to play lights, this is by far going to be a top contender for me to recommend to you. Like, I recommend anyone who at least knows somewhat how to play light tanks, pick up this tank right now because it's so strong. And if Wargaming doesn't nerf it, then, I mean, that's good, but they could very well nerf it because it is very, very strong right now. We'll see, though. Here's the E5 rolling off to our side, and I'm going to try and kill him before he kills me, or before he is able to shoot me at least. Unfortunately, I do miss my shell into him initially, so we aren't able to kill him. And it's probably going to be game over. Let's see if I can bait a shell from the sky here. Oh, well. Unfortunate. Let's see. Unfortunately for us, that M60 just kind of YOLOs me, which is understandable. But, yeah, we're not able to do any more damage that game, which is fine. I mean, 3 losses in a row, it is what it is. You can't do crazy good every single game, but for the most part, I think we did our job that game. Our team was just, yeah, not very good. Look at that. 0 damage in an E100. Crazy. But anyways, Batchat, super strong tank. I do recommend you pick this thing up. It's super, super fun to play. Even when you're losing every single game, it is still a fun tank to play, and I highly recommend it. Anyways, for any of you out there who are not yet subscribed to the channel, I highly recommend you do so. It's a fantastic way to support the content I make and to stay up to date when I post videos almost daily, sorry. And with that, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.